Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai, Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Marani ki jai, Sri Gauranita ki jai, Śrī Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaved Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. There is a song that we usually sing before discussing Śrī Caitanya Caritamrita. We'll start with that today. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. This is a verse that's sung by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So this is how he glorifies Jai Jai Śrī Caitanya, which is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Nityananda, all glories to Nityananda Prabhu. Jaya Advaita Chandra, all glories to Advaita Acharya. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so that's what Gaura Bhakta Vrinda means. Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda means all glories. Jaya means all glories. I think last week I was mentioning this. Once Srila Prabhupada goes to a temple room and all the devotees, they pay obeisances. One devotee was reciting Premadhvani, Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtottara Hata Shishimad. His Divine Grace, Abhay Charana Aravind, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, and then everyone says Jai. Thank you, Jai. And then that devotee said, Srila Prabhupada ki. Everyone said Jai, and Prabhupada also said Jai. Because for him, Prabhupada is his guru. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, they used to address him as Prabhupada. Even now they address him as Prabhupada. So for Prabhupada, his Prabhupada is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Good. Let's continue our discussion on the Caitanya Caritamrita Madhya Lila, 19th chapter. So for the next, most likely 8 to 10 weeks, that's what this is the chapter we'll be discussing on. And we'll cover this chapter end to end. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructing Srila Rupa Goswami. Just to recap what we had discussed so far. Srila Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, they met Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Ramkeli. And after that, Rupa and Sanatana made plans to retire from their government job and go on follow the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, taking his instruction and serve him in Vrindavan. Rupa and Vallabha had already made arrangements after they learnt Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to Vrindavan. They heard that through the messengers and they both made their way towards Vrindavan. And on the way, they come to Prayagraj, the holy place where the three holy rivers, they meet each other. Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. It's known as Triveni Sangam. Sangam means the union, meeting. So after they arrived there, they make their way to Bindu Madhava temple. There they could see Caitanya Mahaprabhu leading Sankirtan and hundreds of thousands of people going towards the temple, worshipping Bindu Madhava, but more importantly, everyone became mesmerized looking at the Lord's beauty and Lord's influence upon all of them. And they were all chanting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna non-stop. One day we'll get to see. In Sydney also that way, and whole of Australia. Everywhere there is group meetings, you will always hear Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So they could see this beautiful sight, and after that, Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu was invited by a South Indian Brahmana to accept his lunch prasad there. Caitanya Mahaprabhu complies. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at his home, Rupa and his younger brother, Vallabha or Anupam Malik, so they both pay obeisances and they offer their respects to Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu, offering beautiful prayers. And one of the famous prayer we saw last week was Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha. So with straw between their teeth, they stood up, paid obeisances. Again they stood up, paid obeisances repeatedly. They paid obeisances, and we were discussing how when we do Ashtanga Namaskar, 8 parts of our body touches on the ground, but most importantly, our mind has to be meditating on the lotus feet of Guru and Krishna. So after Caitanya Mahaprabhu asks them to get up, and he embraces them, and he asks them about the well-being of Sanatana Goswami. To which Rupa Goswami replied that Sanatana Goswami was put in jail by the Nawab, and he sought the blessings of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu so that Sanatana Goswami could relieve himself from his government duties and from all his entanglements, and he can soon find the shelter of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Caitanya Mahaprabhu replied, Sanatana Goswami has already been released from the confinement. Even though Caitanya Mahaprabhu is sitting in Prayag, he knows up-to-date information because he is the Supreme Lord. He has already informed Rupa and Anupam. Don't worry, Sanatan has already been released from his confinement. We'll discuss about that later. And he will soon meet me. So hearing that, Rupa and Vallabha, they both became very happy. And they took residence close to the shores where Ganga and Yamuna meet, Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati meet, very close to the residence of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the point when we concluded last class. So when Caitanya Mahaprabhu was there on the banks of Triveni, one day, one great Vaishnava scholar by name Vallabhacarya, Vallabha Sampradaya is still there, very famous. Prabhupada writes in detail about Vallabha Bhattacharya's history in the purports. You can read this. And he came, paid obeisances to Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Caitanya Mahaprabhu reciprocated by embracing him. And then they started to discuss topics of Krishna. So when Vallabha Bhatta, when he started to discuss about topics of Krishna, Caitanya Mahaprabhu couldn't hold his ecstatic feelings. On one hand, he wanted to fully experience by living through that feelings, exhibiting those feelings, but on the other hand, he also knew Vallabha Bhatta is there and he is not one of his confidential devotees yet. So when he is holding back, even though he is holding back his feelings, Vallabha Bhatta could still see the transformation in the Lord's appearance. Later on we will see when Caitanya Mahaprabhu goes into ecstasy, no one could feel his bone. You know, in our elbows, shoulders, you can actually feel the bone, right? The bone would part almost like 6 to 8 inches. And Caitanya Mahaprabhu's whole body will be like that. It will go and it will fall down like a rubber. So when Caitanya Mahaprabhu jumps up, sometimes he will actually go down to the ground, crashing to the ground. Sachi Mata would always offer prayers. My Lord, whatever austerities I have performed, if at all I have any shukriti, please take care of my son, so that when he comes down, he doesn't get hurt. Because when Caitanya Mahaprabhu goes into ecstasy, he forgets about external circumstances. So in this instance also, even though Caitanya Mahaprabhu is holding his feelings, Vallabha Bhatta could see the transformation and he was so astonished. And at that time, Caitanya Mahaprabhu introduced Rupa and Anupam, who were staying a little far away. So he tells to Vallabha Bhatta, meet those two of my friends, Rupa and Anupam. When Vallabha Bhatta was introduced to Rupa and Anupam, Vallabha Bhatta moves close towards them to show his respects and to embrace them. But as Vallabha Bhatta is moving closer to them, they went to an even more distant place. Imagine somebody is introducing you to a person and you say like, hi, how are you? And the person keeps on going back. No, don't come. So that's exactly the mood that was exhibited by Rupa and Anupam. We were discussing this point last week also, how Vaishnavas are so expert in holding their position as the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. Gopi Bhartu Pada Kamalayor Dasanu Dasa. Servant of the servant of the servant. So when they hear Caitanya Mahaprabhu introducing, they went to a far place and they said, we are very fallen. Humbly, politely, expressing their inability to reciprocate with the respects of Vallabha Bhatta properly. Then Caitanya Mahaprabhu looked at their behavior, being pleased within his heart. He told to Vallabha Bhatta, yeah, that is true, what they say is true. They are coming from a very low class family, in a sarcastic tone. And you are a great Vaishnava scholar. To which Vallabha Bhatta responded, Dunara Mukhe Krishna Nama Kariche Nartana Ei Dui Adama Nahe Haya Sarvatama. Vallabha Bhattacharya is looking at Caitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding the deceptive, so to speak, transcendentally deceptive statement of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. And Vallabha Bhatta is saying, you are saying they are lowly. They come from a very low family. But when I look at them, from their lips, constantly I could actually hear them chanting the holy name of the Lord all the time. That's what it means. Dunara Mukhe. I see both of their mouth. Dunara means both of them. Dunara Mukhe Krishna Nama Kariche Nartana. The holy name of Krishna is always dancing in their tongue. That's all I see in both of them. Ei Dui Adamanahe. Because the holy name of Krishna is dancing on their tongue, these two are not Adama, which means they are not born in a low family. Instead, Haya Sarvatama, they are the greatest of all men. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, he becomes very pleased. And Caitanya Mahaprabhu now quotes the verses. You will see this mood of the Acharyas. Prabhupada says, when we share Krishna consciousness, when you do prachar for Krishna consciousness outside to new people, you have to see time, place and circumstance and how much they can understand, and based on that you can give the knowledge. But Prabhupada says, when you are in the learned circles of devotees, you should quote verses. If you don't quote verses, Prabhupada says, then there is no authenticity in the discussion. Everyone has their own perception on things. It will just become prajalpa. Or it may be an unauthorized discussion. So we have to be very careful. Once somebody wrote a poem of Lord Krishna, and the poem was actually brought to Prabhupada, and the poet was there. So he wrote the poem in such a way that it was Mother Yashoda calling her baby Krishna, oh my dear son, please come. But the song went like this, oh Krishna, please come to me, don't move here and there, keep coming to me in a dancing way. Prabhupada, when he looked at the poem, he threw it away, saying, this is unauthorized. Who can order Krishna like that? You know? So Prabhupada could see mood. Similarly, in those days, so many poets were there. You will see many instances. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, instantly he could quote 100 verses glorifying Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Instantly. Today also we will see one verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just composes it on the fly. So Keshava Kashmiri, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, yeah, you can glorify Mother Ganga, Keshava Kashmiri on the spot recites 100 verses. Now that's not so great. What's great is what I'm about to say. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu memorized all of them in one go, and he goes to each line and he picks up the faults in each one of them. I sometimes think Keshav Kashmiri recited. Will he even remember what he recited? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remembered that. So here, after Vallabha Bhatta glorified both of them, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu becomes very pleased with Vallabha Bhatta, and he told him, yes, you said it right. And now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recites 2 verses. First verse is a very famous verse that's recited by Mother Devahuti to Kapiladev. In 3rd canto it's there. Ahobatasva pachatto gariyan yajjivagre vartate namatubhyam te pustapaste juhu shashnurarya brahmanuchurnama grinanti ete. Oh my Lord, how glorious are those devotees who chant your holy name. Aho batasva pachatto gariyan. They are greater than even Brahmanas. Aho bachasva pachatto gariyan yajjiva gre. One whose tongue vartate nama tubhyam. Whoever whose tongue is reciting, chanting your holy name. Such people, simply by chanting your holy name, why are they more greater than the Brahmanas? Tepus tapaste juhu shashnurarya brahmanuchur. By chanting the holy name, they automatically have performed 4 things. Tepus tapas, they have performed, tapas means all austerities. They have performed all austerities. Tepus tapaste juhu. Juhu means they have performed all sacrifices. Shashnur means they have taken bath in all the holy rivers. Brahma anuchur means Brahma. Brahma means here refers to the Vedas. Annat bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaha yagyat bhavati parjanyo yagya karma samudbhava. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi. Brahmaksharam samudbhavam. Tasmat sarvagatam brahma nityam yagye pratishthitam. Krishna says this in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Karmam brahmodbhavam vidhi. Brahma means the Vedas. So by chanting the holy name, one automatically has performed all these 4 things. They have performed tapas, all austerities, juhuvu, all sacrifices, shashnur, taken bath in holy places, brahma anuchu. They have heard and mastered all the Vedas. How? Simply by chanting the holy name. That's the power of the holy name. Says who? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. And this is a verse that is recited or sung by Mother Devahuti to her godson. The real godson. This is Kapiladev. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes this verse. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes another verse. We saw one other verse, I think in the last class. Name Bhakta Chaturvedi Mad Bhakta Swapachapriya Tasmai Deyam Tato Grayam Sacha Pujya Tatamyaham. Krishna says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, quoting Krishna's verses, that even if somebody is a Chaturvedi, if he's not by Bhakta, he is not very close to me. On the other hand, somebody who is a dog eater, who is born in the family of dog eaters, but still, if such a person is chanting my holy name, is my devotee, such a person is very dear to me. Tasmai deyam tato grayam. Everything should be offered to him, all respects to be offered to him, and everything he offers also becomes worshipable, so one should accept everything. Sacha puja, such a person should be worshipped. Sacha puja, tatamyaham. How much should one worship them? Worship them as much as you worship me. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had already quoted this verse before. In this instance, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes another verse. Suchihi sadbhakta deeptagni dagda durjati kalmashaha. If one is practicing bhakti, sadbhakti, suchihi, and comes to the level of Brahmana in cleanliness, in their qualities, samo, dhamma, tapas, saucham, in what qualities they cultivate, simply by practicing bhakti, if one comes to that platform, suchihi sadbhakta deeptagni, if they practice bhakti and they come to that platform, what will that bhakti do? The fire of that bhakti, Deepta Agni. Suchihi Sadbhakta Deepta Agni, Dagda, it will burn. What will it burn? Dagda Durjati Kalmashaha. It will burn away all impurities which the person carry, including being born in a very low family. Durjati means low family. That's why we should be very careful, especially when one is a practicing Vaishnava. Till that point, everyone will be very clear, but even otherwise also. Because you never know who will become a devotee in future. I'll tell you one instance in Srimad Bhagavatam. When Dhruva Maharaj goes to sit on the lap of his father, Uttanapada, at that time his stepmother, Suruchi, she asks him to get down and she says, because you are not born from my womb. Suruchi is his stepmother. You are born in the womb of your mother, Suniti, and I am so exalted, I am being the most favorite queen of your father. Because of that, you offer your prayers to Vishnu so that in the next life you will be born in my womb, and because of that you will be able to then sit on the lap of Uttanapada. Look at the condition, just to sit on the lap of his father. When she made that insult to Dhruva Maharaj took it to his heart, went running to his mother, Suniti. By the time the news had already arrived, the years of Suniti, first advice Suniti gives to Dhruva Maharaj, listen to this carefully. First advice Suniti gives to Dhruva Maharaj is, oh my dear son, I am so unfortunate because you are born of my womb, you are also unfortunate. In these circumstances where you are insulted by your stepmother, it is natural for you to desire something wrong for them. And she says, get rid of that thought. Which mother would advise her son or her child like that? Suniti, she did. Do not desire anything wrong for her. Why? She also says this. If you cultivate any negativity, any negative emotion towards someone, that is like a fire, it will burn them, it will burn you also. I'll give you another example. When the sacrificial horse were taken by Indra and then they were tied outside Kapiladev's ashram, at that time 60,000 descendants of Sagar Maharaj, they come. When they looked at the horse being tied right next to Kapiladev's ashram, they see Kapiladev seated there in meditation. They all misunderstood that it was Kapiladev who stole the sacrificial horse. They raised the weapons ready to attack. But they were fuming with so much rage. Bhagavatam says their anger itself burnt their body. And they all fell down like a pile of ashes. Suniti knew about this history all too well. So she says to Dhruva Maharaj, do not harbor any ill feelings. It's natural in material world. People will actually be provoking. People will cause difficulties. But if we fall prey to that, then there is no difference between them and us. We are supposed to be practicing devotees. We are supposed to be humbler than the blade of grass on the street. Remember that? Sikshashtakam. So we should cultivate. Prabhupada says if one has anger, if one gets provoked to be angry, Prabhupada says immediately whole body becomes contaminated. Next time you be angry, when you feel angry, you just feel your temperature. Take a moment just to close your eyes and you observe your breathing pattern. You will see your whole body is contaminated. Whole body, temperature actually going up, breathing pattern going uneven, and you will see your mind is actually going restless. In Vedic times, when somebody, Brahmanas especially, when they experience anger, they would go take bath in Ganga or some holy river to purify themselves. If that had been the rule in Kali Yuga, all of us would have been aquatics, correct? We wouldn't come out. So it is natural. So Dhruva Maharaj is being advised like that. Dhruva Maharaj took that to his heart. Dhruva Maharaj goes to the forest, takes instructions from Narada Muni, hears Krishna Katha from Narada Muni. Bhagavatam says, he heard Krishna Katha. Normally when we think, Dhruva Maharaj took instructions from Narada Muni. It's not just, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, follow these 5 instructions. Do this, turn right, sit straight, breathe. Those are not the only instructions which Narada Muni gave. The process of Ashtanga Yoga, Narada Muni also discussed in detail about Harikatha, about the glories. That's what attracted the heart of Dhruva Maharaj towards the lotus feet of the Lord. Dhruva Maharaj goes, after performing tapasya for a few months, he gets blessed with the divine vision, darshan rather, of Prishnigarbha. Prishnigarbha comes, gives him blessings. Dhruva Maharaj's life is successful. Dhruva Maharaj finally returns back home. By then, Uttanapad was feeling so morose because it was because of his fault. It's one thing his stepmother has said something, at least he could have intervened in that situation. But he kept quiet. His stepmother, Suruchi herself had a change of heart by then. So when Dhruva Maharaj came, she was feeling so sorry for him, she apologized. And Dhruva Maharaj, true to the instruction of his mother, he readily forgave her, forgave his father. And he just ruled. You fast forward, later on what happens is, Dhruva Maharaj had a stepbrother who is the son of Suruchi by name Uttama. When Uttama once, he is engaged in a battle with the Yakshas, Yakshas kill him. It happens in the forest. When Suruchi hears about the untimely death of her son, she becomes mad because of her attachment to her son. She runs into the forest. At that time, forest fire divorces her. Prabhupada writes in the purport, all of this misfortune happened in the life of Suruchi because of one thing. What is it? Vaishnava Aparad, which she performed at the lotus feet of Dhruva Maharaj. Now, point to be noted, when she offended Dhruva Maharaj was not a devotee. What does it teach you? Never take anyone lightly. You can see a cockroach. Don't take even a cockroach lightly. You may go outside and you may see. You may be in the temple, somebody walking in. Your mind may be saying, no tilak on the face, or a person looks like a karmi, so I don't need to show respect. No, you never know. Because this is what Suruchi also thought. Prabhupada says, even though Dhruva Maharaj had forgiven her, Vishnu was not ready to forgive. Read the purports, you will see it. Understand? Coming back to this verse. Suchihi Sadbhakta Deeptagni. Suchihi means one comes to the position of a Brahmana. Sadbhakti. How does one comes to the position of a Brahmana? Sadbhakti Deeptagni. One performs bhakti carefully. When they do that, then the fire of that bhakti, dagda durjati kalmashaha. It will remove all the dirt. Kalmashaha, it destroys all the dirt which one carries as part of their karmic baggage, including being born in a low family. Swapakopi budaislagyo na vedagyopi nastikaha. These are the last 2 lines of the verse. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, such a person, swapakopi, even if he is born in a family of a dog eater, budaislagyo, the intelligent men still accept them, recognize them as great devotees. On the other hand, na vedagyo, one may have mastered all the Vedas. Na vedagyopi nastikaha. However, if despite one mastering all the Vedas, if one is not a pure devotee of the Lord, such a person is rejected by all the intelligent men. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes this verse also. So, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recites this verse, Vallabha Bhattacarya, being a Vaishnava scholar himself, he gets very impressed. He thinks, here is a sannyasi who is so beautiful, who is so influential, who I personally have witnessed his body transforming because of the ecstatic love, who has also understood and mastered the essence of devotional service. Otherwise, how can Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quote these verses? 4 things Prabhupada writes. That impressed him. When he looked at Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he got attracted to its beauty, the influence he is having upon people who are around, because he himself could feel, being the recipient of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu's causeless embrace. He could also see Caitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love, how much love he has for Krishna. And also, how much he has understood and imbibed the essence of devotional service. Of course, he is Supreme Lord, but he couldn't recognize yet that aspect of him. So he desired association of Lord Caitanya Mahaprabhu. So he humbly begged Caitanya Mahaprabhu, saying, I come from Adaila Grama, which is on the other side of Triveni, other side of Ganga and Yamuna. So please come with me and please accept prasad from my home. And he invited everyone. Caitanya Mahaprabhu's personal servant, Vallabha Bhattacarya. And he also invited Rupa and Anupam. And then everyone complied to his invite, and then he got all of them on board a beautiful boat. And the boatman was rowing. So as the boat was crossing, remember it is Triveni, especially Ganga and Yamuna are so visible still 500 years ago. Saraswati is there, not so visible for us. So the color of Ganga and color of Yamuna is usually more dark in color. In South India, there is a river, Kaveri. You will see that in many places. Gangecha, Yamunecheva, Godavari, Narmade, Sindhu, Kaveri. This is the verse we recited to purify the water. Jalais means Sannitam Kuru. Oh, all these holy rivers, please come and reside here. If you read about the story of the appearance of Radhakunda, there also you will see all these holy rivers, personification of the holy rivers coming and entering into the Radhakund pond. So if you look at the waters of Kaveri, one of the names of Kaveri in South India especially, her name is Ponni. Ponni means one who is golden in effulgence. When the sun comes and hits her waters especially, it will glow like gold. If you go to South India, you can see. So here, Yamuna's complexion is dark in color. If you see, go to Mayapur, you can see Ganga and Jalangi. Where they come and mix, you can clearly see a demarcation there. The complexion of the waters will be different. So same way, Ganga is there, Yamuna is there. They are starting on one side and the boat is still rowing on Yamuna part. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu sees the waters of Yamuna, which is shining, which is glossy black in complexion, who do you think Caitanya Mahaprabhu would have thought of? Krishna. And when Caitanya Mahaprabhu sees Krishna, what do you think he would have done? Correct. He would have wanted to embrace, oh Krishna, and he jumped into the water. And everyone was stunned. Nobody knew how to react now. Because this sannyasi was with them one moment, next moment, he just went in. And Caitanya Mahaprabhu is Ajana Lambicha Buddha, so tall also. Nobody knew how to pull him out also. So fearing for his life, somehow they managed to pull Caitanya Mahaprabhu back into the boat, and everyone was sitting there. Without fully getting their head around what had just happened. Now Caitanya Mahaprabhu, he slowly came to external consciousness. Again he looks at the water of Yamuna. And Caitanya Mahaprabhu could understand, looking at his wet clothes, okay, looks like I might have jumped. And devotees must have pulled me back on the boat. So Caitanya Mahaprabhu didn't want to cause any inconvenience to his devotees. So Caitanya Mahaprabhu thought, I'll stay very controlled, I won't jump into the waters now. Instead what I'll do, I'll jump and dance on the boat now. So Caitanya Mahaprabhu stands on top, starts to chant Krishna's name, dancing, tilting the boat now. Now devotees got more scared because water started to fill in the boat. Boat was about to capsize. And everyone was very prayerfully looking at Caitanya Mahaprabhu. No one can control him. Mahaprabhu, please. And then Caitanya Mahaprabhu slowly pacified. And when the boat finally reaches the shore, There, because he is very influential personality, Vallabha Bhatta in his village, he had already had his men waiting on the shore. He made Chaitanya Mahaprabhu take bath properly, change his clothes properly, and then he invited Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu finally comes to his home, at that time he washes his feet, sprinkled the Caritanya of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the heads of all his family members, and then he worshipped him with different paraphernalia, like in our Arati plate, Gandha Pushpa Dhupa Deepe Mahapujakaila Bhattacarya Caritamrita Pakakaraila. He offered Gandha. We offer all these items. If you look at any Arati plate, you will see all of this. Gandha, fragrance. He offered nice fragrant oils. Early morning we offer, if you are in Mangalarati, you will get that. That's Gandha. You can smell that beautiful fragrant oil. Okay, so Gandha, Pushpa means flower, Dhupa, incense, Deepe, lamps. So whatever that we see here, Srila Prabhupada has taken straight from the scriptures and he has given us here to worship Krishna. Gandha, Pushpa, Dhupa, Deepe, Mahapujakaila, Bhattacharya, Manyakari, Pakakaraila, and with great care, he worshipped Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then he requests Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personal servant, Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he accepts the invite to go and have meals, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also follows it very strictly. He wouldn't eat food prepared by anyone and everyone. In some instances, it would be prepared by the hosts. Most instances, the food would be prepared by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's personal servant only. So the host will only give the kitchen and the ingredients. And Bhattacharya would then prepare and then he would offer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this instance, Balabhadra Bhattacharya was requested by Vallabha Bhatta to please make use of the facilities and prepare the food for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he didn't want to inconvenience Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then he starts to prepare food. One of the verses which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes, we were discussing when Vallabha Bhatta was saying, these two are not Adama but they are Sarvottama. Why? Because they are chanting Krishna's holy name all the time. There is one other verse Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes in that instance. One verse we saw today, Suchi Sadbhakta Deeptagni, Sadbhakti Deeptagni, Dagda Durjati Kalmashaha. There is another verse Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quotes, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastra Japa Tapaha Apranasya Dehasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. One may be born in a great family, Jati, Shastra, one may be very well versed in remembering all the Shastras. Jati, Shastra, Japa, one may be great in reciting all mantras. Tapaha, one may have performed all austerities also. Despite having these four qualities, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya, if one doesn't develop devotion to the Supreme Lord, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastra Japa Tapaha. Without bhakti, if one has these four, which is they are born in a very, very highly qualified family, Shastra, they are well versed in Shastras, Japa, they are good in reciting the Vedas, Tapaha, they are good in performing austerities, Vrata, fasting, everything they do perfectly. But are they devotees? No. So what to conclude in that situation? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Jati Shastra Japa Tapaha Apranasya Dehasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. It's a pretty heavy comparison. He says, such people, if they don't have devotion, but they have all these four things, this is exactly same as all the decorative ornaments on the body of a dead person. Apranasya Dehasya. You take a dead body and you decorate nicely. Is there anyone who would look at it? Nobody would want to look at it even. What is the use of all those decorative ornaments? Nothing. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is equating all of these material qualifications to someone without bhakti. Apranasya Dehasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. They may be good in terms of aggrandizement. See how nicely the dead body is decorated, before going to get cremated. It may be good for public opinion. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, what's the use? So same way, all of these other things are great, but without Bhagavad Bhakti, what is the use? So after worshipping Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu this way, he gets Vallabha Bhattacarya to prepare food. Vallabha Bhattacarya then serves Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he offers the remnants to Rupa Goswami and Anupam. And true to being a very dutiful host, Vallabha Bhatta also serves Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And after that, he gives mukwas. We offer that to Radha Gopinath also before they go to take rest. Mukwas is like spices, a combination of spices which is used for purification. That's one way of purifying your mouth. One way is you rinse your mouth, and another way is to put the spices. Spices, not normal spices. It's mukwas, meant specifically for this purpose as an after meal. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was given that, and when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was reclining, if you go to South India, there are many holy places. It's called Divya Desham, or 108 places of pilgrimage. 106 are in material world, 2 are in spiritual world. So if somebody says, I've been to all 108 Divya Kshetram, make no mistake, they are lying. Or you are seeing a ghost, one or the other. So 106 are in material world, 2 are in spiritual world. So if you go to each one of those holy places, we'll see many places being visited by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited South India, many of them are in South India, you will see different poses of the Lord. Some places the Lord would be reclining on Anantasesh. Okay, the Supreme Lord as Lord Ananta, whitish in complexion, he makes a bed. He makes the pillow also. He makes a chair. Sometimes you will see Krishna seated in like a chair. Sometimes he makes an umbrella also. You see, when Vasudeva carries baby Krishna, at that time Anantaseshi comes and acts as an umbrella. So Anantaseshi is everything. Sometimes he acts as a fan also. With his tongue, it's given. He waves his tongue, and then Krishna actually feels nice cooling breeze. Okay, multi-purpose convertible form Anantaseshi has taken as a bed, as a pillow, as a footrest. Baladev, he serves. That's why Prabhupada says he is supreme servitor personality of Godhead. He is the most expert in serving Radha and Krishna. He also appears as Anangam Manjari, Radharani's little sister. So he serves everyone. Baladev serves everyone in every single possible way. So here you will see sometime Vishnu reclining like this on Anantasesh. Some places you will see without Anantasesh also Vishnu will be reclining, using just his arms. This is known as Bhujanga Shayanam. You know, sometimes when you lie down on the ground, you put your hand like this. That's known as Bhujanga Shayanam. Now if we sleep, we don't look good. But when Supreme Lord sleeps, very beautiful. So different poses of the Lord you will see. Different Ahuvaha Mudra, it says, like, you know, sometimes this is like Varada Mudra or Varada Hasta, they say. You ask anything, Balaji. You see this little kumkum, one devotee brought from Tirupati. That's from Balaji. So another devotee gave me one big mango from Sydney Venkateshwara temple. Thank you. We always get Balaji Mahaprasad somehow. So Balaji, if you see, he has Varada Hasta. You go and ask anything, he'll give straight away. Take it. So this is Varada Hasta. This is Abhaya Hasta. You see Radharani, she has Abhaya Hasta. Any fear you have, any problem you have in life, you can simply come in front of Srimati Radharani and pray. You see her hand is raised like this. This is known as Abhaya Hasta, which means don't worry, I'll take care. Okay, there is a song sung by Lord Shiva, Radha Kripa Kataksham. It's a poem of 8 verses begging for the sidelong glance of Srimati Radharani. When Srimati Radharani was born, she appeared on a golden lotus. And Vrishabhanu Maharaj found her appearing on the golden lotus. And he picked her, started to raise her as his own daughter. At that time, Narada Muni comes. Because Narada Muni know who is Srimati Radharani. But she is so devoted to Krishna, until she saw Krishna, she never opened her eyes. So when Narada Muni came, Vrishabhanu Maharaj was saying, I am blessed with this beautiful child, but she is not opening her eyes. Narada Muni says, I would like to see the child. Because he wanted to take darshan of baby Radharani. So then he paid obeisances, offered beautiful prayers to her. And then Narada Muni says to Vrishabhanu Maharaj, don't worry, when she sees her most desired object at that time, she would open. Now Vrishabhanu Maharaj and Nanda Maharaj, they both are family friends. Likewise, Yashoda Maharani and Kirtida Devi, they both are friends. So when Srimati Radharani was born, they came to see Srimati Radharani. Radharani is lying on the cradle. And you would see there is a beautiful artwork. I'll share that in the WhatsApp group. Where baby Krishna is still a toddler, slowly climbing up, and he is seeing Srimati Radharani. Radharani is there with nice curly hair. Radharani has curly hair also. Showing her lotus feet, and she looks at Krishna. When Krishna comes, at that time she opens her eyes and she feels very happy. Oh, I have seen the Lord of my life. And then Radharani closes and she looks at baby Krishna with a sidelong glance like that. Krishna can't handle that. Krishna comes down to the ground rolling. That's the Leela of that pastime, where baby Radharani is lying down and the baby Krishna is climbing up. That's the first scene. Second scene is baby Krishna goes rolling on the ground. So here Radha Kripa Kataksham, Lord Shiva, he sings glorifying about Srimati Radharani, begging for her sidelong glance. One of the point he mentions in that is, whoever prays to the Abhaya Hasta of Srimati Radharani will have all fear, material fear, any fear you have. You have job problem, exam fear, relationship fear, financial fear, any kind of fear, it will go away. Simply look at the Abhaya Hasta, hand of Srimati Radharani, and pray to that. Pray to her hand. So different. So this is Varada Hasta, this is Abhaya Hasta. There is some places you will see Vishnu's hand will be like this. This is Asvaha, means he is calling you, please come. Nobody is here. I am here, don't worry about it, come on. So when you look at the different forms of the deities, you can see. Okay, Narasimha also, he rips him apart. But when you see Narasimha's hand like this, Lord Narasimha's hand on his knees like this, then you can go near, no problem. That is called Santa Narasimha, which means he is in good mood. Okay, so this is Narasimhadev. When you see Narasimhadev's hand like this, you can go. If it's like this, you go take shelter of Prahlad Maharaj. Only Prahlad Maharaj could go, nobody could go closer. Understand? So when you look at the deities, you look at the form of the Lord, everything has got so much meaning. Everything is meant to attract us towards his lotus feet. Because the Lord is always enjoying. For him it's all play and no work, in spiritual world also. But why does he come down to this material world? To perform the Leela. So we'll have enough subject matter to talk about. Otherwise, who won the cricket match? Who won the Ashes? Any surprise? It's Australia again. Okay, like that you come across who won the World Cup, who won this, who won that, who is the number one richest person in the world. There's only 2-3. It's not like such a big thing. You will get used to it so soon. But with Krishna, it's not like that. Every single detail that is there would be so endearing. Here we see how Vallabha Bhatta, just looking at Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, seeing his transformation, he is getting influenced so much. Now when we read the Shastras, taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada's purports, Prabhupada highlights, look, this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is doing. This is what it's doing. Now when you read the activities of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can see how Prabhupada so diligently introduced each one of those aspects in our deity worship. So we offer, and then the Lord takes rest after he takes an afternoon nap. So when Lord is taking Bhujanga Shayanam, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is resting his head on his elbows like this, at that time Vallabha Bhatta comes and massages his lotus feet. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is taking a short afternoon nap, and at that time, Caitanya Mahaprabhu tells Vallabha Bhatta, you have been serving all of us, please go and take your prasad. Then Vallabha Bhatta immediately runs, finishes prasad and comes back quick. Again continuing to massage. At that time, there is a great devotee by name Raghupati Upadhyaya. He comes to take darshan of the Supreme Lord. When he comes, he bows down, pays his respects, and then Caitanya Mahaprabhu tells him, please speak about Krishna Leela. Now Raghupati Upadhyaya was a great devotee, just like Vallabha Bhatta. He is also a great Vaishnava scholar. He also has written so much work glorifying about Krishna, but everything fully complying with the Shastri conclusions, especially of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and other holy scriptures, other Puranas. So Raghupati Upadhyaya, he sings one beautiful poem, and you will see this being recited in many places. He says, Shrutim apare smritim itare Bharatam anye bhajantu bhavabhita. Fearing material existence, Shrutim atare. Some people, they worship Shrutis, which means all the four Vedas. Smritim itare. Some other people would worship Smritis, which are the Puranas, Upavedas, Vedangas, all of that. Shrutim atare, Smritim itare, Bharatam anye. Some people, they think, no, I am in Kali Yuga, I will only study Mahabharata. That's what Bharatam here refers to. Bharatam anye means, still yet, few more people would worship Mahabharata. Why are they worshipping? Bhava Bitaha. Because Bhava means this Bhavasahar, ocean of material existence. So, fearing material existence, they worship Shrutim atare, Smritim itare, Bharatam anye, Bhajantu. They worship one of these three, Shruti, Smriti or Mahabharat, Bhava Bitaha, feeling so much fear about this material existence. Aham iha Nandam Vande. However, I worship Nanda Maharaj. Aham iha Nandam Vande Yasyalinde Parambrahma. However, my Lord, I worship Nanda Maharaj in whose courtyard baby Krishna is playing. That's what this verse means. Vaishnavas have their own sense of humor. Shrutim atare, Smritim itare, Bharatam anye bhajantu bhavabhita, Aham iha Nandam Vande Yasyalinde. Alinde means courtyard. Yasyalinde Param Brahma. I worship Nanda Baba on whose courtyard baby Krishna is playing. When Caitanya Mahaprabhu hears this, he feels very happy and he tells to Raghupati Upadhyaya, come close, and then he gives him an embrace. Keep talking more. And then Raghupati Upadhyaya continues to sing so many verses. He says, Kam prati katayatu mishe samprati kova pratitamāyatu gopati tanaya kunje gopavaduti vitam brahma. To whom can I speak? Who will believe me when I say that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is playing with the gopis on the banks of Yamuna? In this way, the Lord demonstrates his pastimes. Prabhupada writes in the purport, when Caitanya Mahaprabhu hears this stream of verses which are composed by Raghupati Upadhyaya, again on the fly, when he hears all of this, Caitanya Mahaprabhu became very pleased at heart, and Prabhupada says his body and mind became slackened. Sometimes when you are going through stress, just go for a walk. You will see your body getting loosened a bit and you feel a little relaxed. Have you got that experience? Sometimes just to turn on the shower, go under. Just let the water go. Something has to loosen you up. Sometimes come to the temple, dance, go up and down. You will feel. So when we are going more and more and more in our shell, we will become more and more tough, rigid. Heart will become more tough. We become very cold in our dealings with other people. We disrespect other devotees. Generally, it's not a very happy scene. Our life is not a very happy scene. It's Kurukshetra. But here Prabhupada says, but once when we hear the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, just like how here we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mind and body slackened. Like that Prabhupada saying, when we hear this, then all our depression will go away, all our anxieties will go away, and we will feel very light at heart. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, please keep on going. You are giving all first class conclusions. Continue. Aage kaho. You will hear this many times. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this to Ramananda Roy also. Yeah, please keep on talking. So here also he says, Aage kaho. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is hearing. And then Raghupati Upadhyaya, he keeps on glorifying Krishna. Finally, this conversation ends up with a rapid fire question. 4 questions Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks. Raghupati Upadhyaya, without batting an eyelid, he answers all 4 straight away. First question, who is the foremost of all being? Shyamasundara. That's the response. Who is the foremost, topmost? Who is the best among all beings? He is saying Shyamasundara. And he says, what is the best of all Krishna supports? Mathura. In Mathura is where Vrindavan is. The forest of Vrindavan is. Then he asks, which is the best of 3 ages of Krishna? Krishna spent about 12 years in Vrindavan. 1 to 5 is known as Kaumara. 6 to 10 is Pauganda. 11 onwards is Kaishora. 11 to 15 Kaishora. 16 Yavana. And only 16. Krishna never goes beyond 16. After that it's Asurli, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. For Krishna, 16. Stop. So he asks, of these 3, Kaumara or Balya, Pauganda and Kaishara, which is the best of Krishna's ages, where he performed such endearing pastimes. Everything is endearing, but which is the best? Purvatama. Then he says, Kaishara. Finally he asks, there are different rasas. We'll see that later in Rupa Siksha section, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives instructions to Rupa Goswami, where discussion about the different mellows, different relationship which one has with Krishna. There are 5 primary relationships and 7 secondary relationships one can have with Krishna. A living entity can have with Krishna. So here he asks this question, which is the best of all mellows? Then he says conjugal love. 4 rapid fire questions. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asks questions, he recites. Now you see the prowess of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu now, as a reciprocation to Raghupati Upadhyaya, he composes a verse using these 4 lines. Shamam, Shamameva param rupam puri madhupuri vara Vayaha kaishora kam deyam Adya eva paro rasaha. Same 4 questions he asked. Whatever he responded back, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put all of those 4 together, used his own prowess as the greatest Sanskrit grammarian, and he compiles this verse on the flight. Shamameva param rupam. That's the question. Shamam, which is the Shyamasundara form, eva param rupam. Of all the forms of the Lord, Shyamasundara form is the best. Shamameva param rupam puri madhupuri vara. Puri madhupuri vara. Of all the places, Madhupuri, which is Mathura. Vayaha kaishorakam dhyayam. Of all the forms of the Lord, one should meditate on the Kaishora form of the Lord, which is the youngster. Radha Gopinath Bhagavan ki jai. Okay, so this is the age he says one should meditate on. And then Adya eva paro rasaha. Of all the rasas, the mellow of conjugal love is the topmost. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reciprocates this service of Raghupati Upadhyaya this way. Raghupati Upadhyaya becomes very happy. Imagine you go in front of Shri Radha Gopinath and you have a very standard prayer which you offer, something which you have made it up, you have made it yourself. not made it up in the negative sense, you made it yourself. And one day you go, how happy or how blissful will you feel when Gopinath one day recites the exact same thing? Which means it's not only that he accepted the prayer, but he likes it so much that he reciprocating it back. This is the emotion which Raghupati Upadhyaya is going through now. Because Krishna asked him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him the questions, he answered, Krishna accepted, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted, yes, they are all first class conclusions, and then he is making a verse out of it and he is reciting, Shamam eva param rupam. Recite. Shamam eva param rupam. Shamam eva param rupam. Puri madhupuri vara. Puri madhupuri vara. Vayaha kaishorakam deyam. Vayaha kaishorakam deyam. Adyam eva paro rasaha. Adyam eva paro rasaha. So after this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells him, chant the holy name of the Lord. And then Raghupati Upadhyaya starts to chant. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also joins the chanting and they both dance. Meanwhile, Vallabha Bhatta, who had just gone to attend some household chores, when he comes back, he gets stunned looking at both of them dancing. So he feels very happy that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's visit has turned out to be so well orchestrated, so to speak, so well managed. Then he asks two of his sons to come and take blessings. He had two sons, they both came and took blessings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, falling at his feet. Meanwhile, the news of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's arrival to Adaila Grama from Prayag. Prayag is in the other side of the banks of Ganga and Yamuna. Adaila Grama is in this side. So this news has already spread and these people, they have already seen Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing in Bindu Madhava temple. So now when the host of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is Vallabha Bhatta, when he opens the door, guess what he sees outside? Hundreds of thousands of people assembled outside. And everyone in that crowd, especially the Brahmanas, each one were inviting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, please come and accept lunch in my home. Please come and accept. Please come and accept. When Vallabha Bhatta hears all of their requests, Vallabha Bhatta is concerned for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he already saw how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reacted to Yamuna twice. Once by diving into the water straight away, second time by dancing, swaying the boat so wildly, making noise, and everyone was so shocked. So he felt it is not safe for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to stay so close to the Yamuna, being protective of the Lord. So he told all of them, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Chaitanya will go back to Prayag. If any of you want to invite him, you go and invite him from Prayag. I want to take him back safe. So he tells all of them, you please make your own arrangements. You can go and approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu back in Prayag. Today he is leaving. So then he gets all of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. Associates are Balabhadra Bhattacharya, Rupa and Anupam back on the boat. Listen to this. This time he is very careful. He tells the boatman, Ganga is there, Yamuna is there, both the side. You drive the boat only on Ganga, not on Yamuna. So the return trip, when the boat went one way, it used the waters of Yamuna. When it came other way, he said, you go roundabout way, go to the waters of Ganga and drive across only in Ganga. I need to take Chaitanya Mahaprabhu safe. And then that way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes safe to the other side, which is back in Prayag. And then he bids farewell from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he goes back. You will see Vallabha Bhatta meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu later as well. So this is how this section is described. And from this point onwards, you will see the glories. Firstly, about the glories of Rupa and Sanatana Goswamis are given. So next class we will discuss about the glories and qualities of Rupa and Sanatana. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami at this point of time, he says about their glories. He also says about the incomparable mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu upon these two brothers. Something which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has never easily given to anyone else, specifically to these two brothers, how they became the object of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's compassion and mercy. So that we'll discuss in the next class, and the instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Rupa Goswami, called as Rupa Siksha, we'll start from the following class. And that will go for, I think, probably 6-7 classes there. Okay, 6 or 7 classes, because the instructions are a lot. So much, out of which Rupa Goswami produced more than 25 books. So you can imagine how much they must have. When Ananta says, when we see who compiled all the Vedas, who knows? Vyasadeva, good. So Veda Vyasa, Ananta says it recites unlimitedly glories of Krishna throughout, going. Now Veda Vyasa, when he saw people in Kali Yuga, which is all, we are the chosen ones. So he looked at all of us and he saw, these qualities of these people are quite concerning. Manda sumanda mataya, manda bhagya hi upadritaha. Nothing positive about us. Okay, so when he saw all of us, then at that time he thought, okay, I need to do something. Then he started compiling Vedas. Now how did he compile? Ananta Seshis speaking everything all the time. He caught one instance of those stream of verses, about 1 billion verses. And then he started to compile all of them, teach his disciples, that's all. So what we study in Vedas is just something which Ananta Sesh gives out in one moment, that's all. Can you imagine how much Ananta Sesh must be talking? Like, we can't even conceive. Even this much, one life is not enough. Even multiple lives, it's not enough for anybody to do. But this is just what Ananta Sesha has spoken as the glories of the Supreme Lord for one fraction of a second. Just 1 billion verses. Which he got, and he wrote all the different Vedas, Upavedas, Upangas, Upanishads, Puranas, you name it, he has written. Vedanta Sutra, everything. That's just one fraction of a second, whatever he got from the mouth of Ananta Sesh. But Vedas, the knowledge, body of the knowledge is unlimited, practically unlimited. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela is also unlimited. If you see how whole Caitanya Caritamrita concludes with exactly the same point. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's glories are like an ocean. I have just tried to study one drop of that ever-expanding ocean. Okay, we can never come to the conclusion of thinking, oh, I have understood Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enough, or I have understood Chaitanya Caritamrita enough. We can never. But we can try to take a little bit and try to imbibe. So if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has spoken to Rupa Goswami for so many days, we can imagine how much he must have spoken. So even 6 or 7 classes is not enough, because there's like unlimited. But we can still try to take a gist, try to get ourselves familiarized, and then revisit it again after 5 years later. Okay, any questions? Okay, we'll stop here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai, Śrī Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Samaveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.